Imagine delivering your first baby. You are exhausted. You're overwhelmed. You're ready for family to start filing out. The congratulations are over, and you just want to settle in for the night with your husband, your new baby, and you. It's your first night to just kind of like have that moment as a family, just the three of you. But then you realize there's somebody still there. You look across the room and your mother-in-law is making a bed on a chair, just like snuggling in. And even though no one's saying anything, it's pretty clear she's not going anywhere. And she didn't. That was 7 years ago, and Rachel's mother-in-law actually hasn't left. So when they left the hospital, they decided that it would be a good idea for Rachel's mother-in-law to move in. So she's moved in, and it was just to help out around the house, help with meal prep, that kind of thing. And it would just help out everybody, probably financially. And it's took a turn for the worst. Rachel's final line in her email, she's like, please help. Like, I feel as though I'm in jail in my own home, which absolutely broke my heart. So what's happening now is, so Rachel and her husband, they have this 7-year-old daughter, but her mother-in-law doesn't know when to step back and let the parents lead. She's very much involved in telling Rachel how to be a better wife, how to be a better mom, and then she just takes over. She'll take over homework time, she'll take over disciplining. She is a co-parent along with Rachel and her husband, and it's really, really difficult. Rachel says, I resent her, I hate, our living space. I don't know if there's anything else we can do because my mother-in-law can't leave. She can't move out, so that's not a possibility. But I don't know if there's anything else we can do here, but I want to try something because I'm really not happy. Okay. Rachel, oh my gosh, I just have to tell you, when I read the part about the delivery room or the recovery room, when you're just leading me into that moment where you're I just want to be with my husband, and that sacred time, that precious time where it's just the three of us, and then you noticed your mother-in-law wasn't leaving, and your husband didn't step in to say Mom, time to go. Oh my gosh, every part of me just broke for you. And I feel that really set the tone. And I think even in that moment, I interpreted your mother-in-law's actions as she's feeling as though she's irreplaceable. She didn't step back maybe from that parenting role. She's very much a parent even to her adult son, your husband, and she just felt they need me. They need me to be okay. She felt very relevant and her presence was needed. That's the way I interpreted that action, because it's a very strong action, especially when she sees your parents leaving the room and your family leaving the room, but she stays. And it's interesting that your husband was night, Mom. So it's not funny, but it was just a lot happened, in that scene. So I just want to normalize kind of what you're going through. A lot of families that do multi-generational living experience what you're going through, which is if roles are not clearly defined, they just kind of all become the lead, the parents, they all become the primary caregivers. And I think if your mother-in-law is thinking she's necessary, she's relevant, she's irreplaceable, and she never figured out how to step back from that parenting role, I believe she thinks she's a co-parent. And that can quickly make you feel like you're disappearing. And the longer that this pattern goes on, it's harder and harder to change change everything, because you're going to start to feel like the bad guy. You're going to start to feel ungrateful because she's doing so much around the house. And it's a crappy feeling for you. So I'm glad that you're bringing this up. It's been 7 years of it. And I think the first thing I would start with is talking to my husband. And I would go to him with very soft, kind language about his mom, because I think that that bond is very tight. And I would say, babe, I just want you to know, I recognize everything that your mom is doing. I appreciate all her help. I mean, she is just amazing. She doesn't stop. She's really good at everything she does. And I love her so much and I appreciate her. And I am feeling kind of pushed out of my role as a parent. And I think it's getting a little confusing for our daughter. when I'm trying to discipline her or do homework time, like your mom is taking over more and more and more. And there's just like too many, like too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. And I believe it's getting confusing. It's getting hard. I'm really not sure where my place is in the family anymore. And I'm wondering, instead of telling your mom like what not to do, I'm wondering if we could just set some family rules. So like this is my role, this is your role, this is her role. So we're all clear, but that she also sees that we're all restructuring and we're not like out to get her, because the last thing I want to do is hurt your mom's feelings because of, just everything she's doing for us. So do you see how that feels different than like, your mom's taking over everything? Like, I can't stand this. It sounds way different. And I feel like if I went to my husband like that, he would be able to hear me a lot better than me like just saying all the negative things or my negative feelings about his mom. So I'd have that talk, and then I would figure out like, okay, what does this restructuring look like? What does our new set of family rules include? And once we have that down, then we go to my mother-in-law. My husband is the speaker because that is his mom. And then basically just telling her that like we made a mistake. Like when we first had her move in, we didn't clearly define our family rules, and we didn't, really articulate what our roles were going to be. So just because, our daughter's getting older, it's getting a little confusing, we're just going to restructure our family a little bit. Like everyone's going to be making some changes, and then I would lead with what your husband's going to be doing differently, what you're going to be doing, and then asking her like if she would take on this role. So before you enter that conversation, think of something that you really see her really good at. Like it's her still she gets to still be a caretaker, and it's it's something that she really enjoys to do with your daughter. Maybe it's picking her up from school and they can go have a little mini date, one-on-one time. Like grandparents love that one-on-one time. So it's not something, you don't want to give her a role like you get, bathroom cleanup. You want to give her a role like this is precious and you get to do that. So if you don't mind her picking up your daughter from school and she can go have like an afternoon at the park with grandma, get some ice cream or whatever before they come home, and then you start homework time and you start all that parenting stuff that you can't wait to get your hands on, give her something special where she feels useful, and she can also start to get comfortable with the idea of moving out of a parent role, like that primary role, to that secondary grandparent role, and just showing her like the enormous value that she brings to, your daughter's life as grandma. Like if she doesn't come as grandma, your daughter is going to miss out. Basically, you want to really beef that up because it is actually crucial that she has, a grandparent. So those are just some of my ideas. And then whatever you guys lay out with your family structure, if you say we want to be the only voices of discipline, you mind your boundaries. So if she starts to take over, just remember, we're going to be doing the parenting. Thank you so much for calling this to our attention. Like I got it from here or whatever. And then you take over. That is what I would do, like continuously minding it. I would give grace and make sure that I understand this is going to take some time for her to grieve the loss of that primary role, just kind of adjust to, the new way of thinking about this. It will take time, especially if her identity is really wrapped up in being a parent and necessary and relevant. It might be kind of tricky. Always remember, you can bring in neutral third parties like therapists or church leaders, whoever you feel like would be helpful in kind of explaining things and helping your family navigate this. But I definitely think it's doable. I wouldn't wait too much longer, just so that the patterns don't get deeply ingrained in your family. But yeah, you deserve to have a role in your daughter's life, and she needs to understand who her parents are and who grandma is. So those are just my thoughts, how I would handle it. It's a restructuring of the family. It is not a punishment to her. So don't really make sure the spotlight's not on her. It's everybody's doing some changes, and it's for everybody's benefit.